Hello my techies. Today we are going to discuss on a Tiger Analytics interview questions. So in Tiger Analytics mainly there are the two technical rounds. The first one is itself a technical round. We can say it is a purely kind of the technical questions they will ask you. In the second round it is a project fitment round, which is basically a technical plus they will check that are you really fitting for the projects or not. So we are going one by one the round and what are the types of the questions they ask in a technical round and a project fitment round. So first one is the round one technical round. It was around a 25 minutes round and they ask a different sets of questions as below. So the first question was, which visual will you use to show previous year versus a current year sales? That means we need to compare the 2 year cell. One is a previous year and the second is a current year. The second question was, if they ask you about the previous year versus the current year sales, then definitely they will go to tell you to write a DAX for a previous year and the current year sales. So here we are already written the previous year sales, or we can say the comparison how can show. So there is a one formula there. In that we are using a function same period last year. So this is the main function which we'll use to show the previous year versus the current year sales. Then they ask you to write a cumulative DAX for a sales. So how they are going to calculate? So it is a based on particular date. So here we are main thing is that we need to compare date is smaller than equal to maximum date. Then fourth question they ask the relationship types. So they are the active and inactive relationship, everyone know. But the next question was how we can use inactive relationship. So now inactive relationship comes into a play. That means definitely they will ask one practical question based on an inactive relationship. So here they ask, suppose we have below columns in a tables. So sales table we have, in that having a sales ID, sales amount, created date and invoice date. So let's say suppose possibly some order which was placed in a 2024 but their invoices is in 2025, but what they actually want to see here, order those are in 2024 and the same invoices is in the 2024. So it is basically based on a two type of the relationships we need to do to perform this kind of operation. So here play the roles important factor, that is the use relationship function, that is the inactive relationship we need to use to find out the invoice dates for 2024. The seventh one question is that in a visual, let's say suppose a table visual. In that table visual we have a Jan, Feb, March, but some months are not available, but later on July, August, September, October, November and December date is available. But what they ask? They ask April, May, June month are not available and user required to be available, means that months to be available in a table. So how you will resolve that one? The eighth question is that what is a row level security and how do we implement it in a Power BI? The ninth question, which is based on a SQL question, it is easy question, everyone know that one. Suppose we have a single column. In that single column we have a three rows which contains the same record. So how do you delete second and third record from that column? So let's say column 1 is there, 1 is the first row, 1 is the second row, and 1 in the third row. So how do you delete both record, second and third record, from this particular column in a table? The round 2, which is actually a 30 minutes round, which is a project fitment round. So they start with my intro. After the intro, they ask me about my projects, what I am doing in that project, what is my role in that project, how I am handling different projects at a time, how I am handling the pressure of the project work with the team leading. So all these details they took, and they start with the row level security. How do we implemented it? What are the requirement to implement it? Then incremental refresh. What are the different parameter we are using in incremental refresh? After that, how we are implementing it into Power BI. Then they are asking about different connectivity modes. More they are focusing on the direct query mode, how we are implementing it. Then they ask me value versus values, value versus distinct also they will ask me. Then they ask me what are the different custom visuals you used in your project, and do you have idea how to create a Gantt chart without using any custom visual? Then DAX Studio, have you anytime used that one? How you optimize the Power BI report? What are the different techniques you have used in your Power BI to optimize it? Summarize versus the summarize columns, what is the main difference in it? Then ask me little more question like what are the different case scenarios where you stuck, and how you implement the solution for it, and how you represent yourself in front of stakeholders. So these kind of the questions they ask me. So they're expecting moreover the how you are represent yourself in front of a stakeholder, how you are represent your data, how you are performing a different transformation techniques on your data to represent it properly in a visualization. So this is all about the Tiger Analytics interview questions. Let's see, we'll catch up in the next video with more questions with the different companies interviews. Thank you and Jai Hind.